This is video 3, improving itinerary page of the 6-part videos creating tourism marketing content with AI from CBI. To make unique and strategic aligned content, we like you to combine your travel expertise and knowledge with that of Chat GTP's general knowledge and tourism knowledge. And that again with the knowledge of CBI that you can find on the market information tourism section. To make it aligned and strategic, also combine it with your own strategic communication document that we learn you how to make in video 2, for which you can find the link in the description. In this video, we are going to show you how to improve our itinerary page, and we do this with our sample company Story Safari. So we already have an itinerary, a 3-day itinerary made based on the program that we created, but we think it could be more targeted towards the personas we created in video 2 and with the messaging that we created in video 2. So we're going to do this by asking first, hey Chat GTP, what is actually a good itinerary? But we're also going to ask advice from the CBI website. What do they think is a good itinerary page? And then we're going to weave all that context that we created in video 2 into our itinerary, and we're going to improve it step by step. Optimizing our itinerary, we started with a plain 3-day itinerary about local culture and traditions, and we thought about what typically a tour operator has. So something from a brochure or maybe already a website. So maybe an introduction, what an itinerary is about, and then a kind of a daily overview with the activities. So that was our base from where we started. And then we're going to optimize this itinerary with the help of AI. So you can find this base itinerary in our Story Safari example website under our tours plain 3-day itinerary. Just a quick refresher of our framework that we introduced in video 1. So we always want you to use a role, social media expert, the task, a social media plan, a format, a document with a few pages, the context, your strategy, your website, anything you have to improve the task, and a clear goal. What is actually the output that you want? So for example, I want to have 50 leads from my social media. We have our itinerary page that we want to improve from Story Safari, but we don't know exactly how. So that's the first thing we're going to ask AI, and we're doing that with the format. What is the role? Travel website expert. What is the task? Can you please advise me on a basic structure for an itinerary? What is the context? A tour spanning 3 days, community-based tourism. What is the goal? That I like visitors to contact me so that I can customize the itinerary with them. What is the format? I like to know in an outline the sections that I need to include, what kind of content to present in each section, and what kind of key messages to convey. And please in short sentences and bullet points so that it's easy to digest. And Chat GTP is doing a great job. It indeed gives me an itinerary page structure per section and what kind of content to put and what kind of messaging to put in each section. So this is great output. I have a great outcome. I have a structure, but I like to verify that with some experts in the market. So I asked ChatGTP, can you find those experts for me? So as a community-based tourism expert, can you provide me with some tour operators? So there's again a role, there's a clear task, and I also put some format because I want a name and the unique selling points, and I have a goal. I want to have inspiration for my own website. And ChatGTP comes up with some really good examples like Intrepid, Community Homestay Network, and some others, G Adventures. So I liked Intrepid. So I've been looking around on those various websites. I came to Intrepid, and this I like. This I like a kind of interesting itinerary that I would like to use for my own itinerary as inspiration. So purely the format. I like the Intrepid page, so I'm going to add the Intrepid page in Chat GTP. I like you to analyze what Intrepid might have that I was missing. And then I get these elements that I could add. But I have more. I have some information of CBI too. So I uploaded here this PDF and I ask, I have some tips from CBI. Can you use these tips to further improve the model? And it goes ahead with extra additions to make sure it's also aligned with CBI information. Now, just as an employer or anybody else, if you give too many different parts of information, people might get confused. So does ChatGTP. So I'm going to ask, okay, from these three sources, your own knowledge, Intrepid, and CBI, was there any conflicting in? What kind of choices did you actually make, or what kind of choices can I make? And then it gives piece by piece where actually the three different sources have different opinions. And then I can choose what I actually want to do. So this is a very nice way of verifying, hey, which choices is ChatGTP actually making, and can I put those choices back to me? We have our advice. Now we want to implement it on our website. And so we have a title tag that we're going to ask, what can we do with that? We have an introduction. How can we improve that? We might have some missing content that we can do. We have these itineraries that we can improve. So let's ask ChatGTP how we can make this better. To make sure that we have the right messaging, we are using the document that Peter created in video 2. So we're going to feed the system our unique selling points, our target market, and our persona. To make sure that ChatGTP has the right content, I put all the information that Peter created in video 2 into a new document. Normally this would be your strategy, but I created a context document. And I have here the unique selling points, the target market, and the persona that Peter created in video 2. We're ready now to actually start to optimize the page. Thank ChatGTP for all the advice. Always be nice. We give it a new role, content writing expert, and we want to help ChatGTP to help us step by step, not in one go the whole page, because that is a little bit overwhelming and we have no idea what it does it mistakes. So we're going to do that step by step, starting with the opening header. And we want to do that based on the advice that we already got, but also based on the document that we made that Peter made in video 2. So our unique selling points are target market and our persona. So that's what we all bring together. Here we have the outcome. It also says what was the original title, and it says the improved title is Experience Authentic Culture, Sustainable 3-Day Immersive. Okay, this is great, but then always, if you think it can be better, not scared to think to improve ChatGTP by giving. What I actually really missed was that Africa component. So I asked for it. Could you please add in the focus on Africa? And it says then, okay, experience authentic African culture, sustainable 3-day immersive tour. But I thought it was a bit long, so I said to ChatGTP, it's a bit long, and I also like to do something with the activity. So I re-uploaded all the itineraries with all the different activities and asked if it could do something with that. And ChatGTP, never tired of helping you, says absolutely, and comes up with a new title, and now adding crafts, community, and agriculture in the title, which I think is interesting. People immediately know what they can do, but still it's a bit long. So I like ChatGTP to revise it one more time, but please shorten it. And then it did shorten, but I lost my activities. So I did one more shot and I said, okay, it has to be short, but with the activities. and then it didn't come with the activities. So I specified it, okay, but include crafts, community, and agriculture. And then it came up with African cultural immersion, 3-day tour with crafts, community, and agriculture. I dropped the sustainability, which was actually important for my persona, but I thought, it's also nice if people actually know to do. I want to improve my introduction. We've been telling how important it is to feed AI with some details that only you know. So I created this destination info document to feed ChatGTP with those extra details that I only know because I know that destination. So we're continuing with the optimization and we're using that destination information document that I made because I want to show my knowledge, but of course I also want to add my unique selling point and personas that we previously uploaded in this chat. So let's see what it does. Actually gives a quite a long introduction, not sure if I'm happy with it, but it also started to improve the rest of the itinerary, which step by step. So, okay, I'm going to ask ChatGTP, let's focus on the introduction only and keep it short. Also, don't need to say any welcome. And if you noticed, it referred to Anna Müller here, which is actually a persona. So I can say environmental conscious travelers, but we won't want to say specifically Anna Müller. And this is something you need to be aware of if you're making a persona. If you really give a name, ChatGTP is often doing that. So you need to put attention to that. And then it gives my introduction. But in this case, it only talked about Magwanza visit, which I, by the way, completely made up in the Zurich Republic. But I actually had 3 different villages. So I thought it was funny that ChatGTP only puts the focus on one village. So I asked, okay, let's remove that village. Maybe it's a bit too much to mention all those villages. Just mention that we go to 3 different villages. And then it gives this short introduction. So I'm pretty happy with that. Discover the vibrant cultures, 3 unique African villages, engagement with master craftsmen, visit local schools, sustainable agricultural practices. So I see all those USPs and things that my persona likes coming back. So I like this and I go ahead with this. To confirm that I go ahead with it, I just repeat what we made so far so that ChatGTP knows on which track we are. So it starts working with this and not with versions. And then I want to improve the day-by-day itinerary. Again, I want to weave in my unique selling points, of course, my persona that is environmentally conscious and that it comes from Germany. But also I repeat my destination details because I think that is important to be woven into the itinerary. And then it gives my itinerary from day to day. There's a difference if you go to the original one. It starts to add some juicy words like vibrant, and it becomes more specific by saying the name of the villages. There's a nice itinerary. It also said why it integrated and how it integrated unique selling points. So that's nice, and then I can change that if I like. I needed a CTA, a call to action. I became a bit more here. So can you create a CTA, the task that encourages to contact Corey Savary, and so a clear goal. I also give some context because I thought it's good to give some price indication. So I put there $200 per day, but also remember, okay, it's not a booking, it's just a customized offer. And went on with a call to action. I thought it was a bit long, also not sure if I wanted to take those emojis, but I thought the top part up to here was good. So I think, okay, I'm not going to change it. I'm just going to keep the top part. The other suggestion of ChatGTP was, okay, put something what is included and not included. So I asked, can you come up with it? And it did. And then we're going to the next step ChatGTP advised us to do, creating the highlights. So I just made a simple prompt. Can you extract 4 highlights of this tour for me that are showing my unique selling points and are attractive to my persona? And it gives quite extensive highlights. I don't think I will use all of them, but then the headers like authentic cultural immersion with master craftsman and the others are good enough for me. And then there's one important part left to do, and that's make sure that the text is in line with the tone of voice that Peter made in video 2. To make sure that ChatGTP doesn't get confused, I recapped everything and put that all in one single Google Doc. And now it's time to give ChatGTP a new role again. I want ChatGTP now to become an editor, and I want it to edit what we created so far, which I put in the optimized text document. And I want to edit it with the information that is in the tone of voice document, so that, and that's the goal, have consistent communication in our marketing. Eh, But I also want to know, hey, what did you actually change? So specifically ask for the change and why. So here there's a clear role, the editor, the context, those 2 documents. What do you actually need to do? Edit this document, but also a format. Please make sure that you share with us what you changed and why, plus a clear goal. Consistent communication in our marketing. And then we see a revised text of the title, the introduction, our itinerary, our tour highlights, what's included in the call to action. And then you can see, okay, what was actually changed. So some language was changed. There was a focus on authenticity and sustainability, and the language was simplified. So now to see all the results, hey, you can go to the description of this video where we have the links to the Chat GTP link, but also to the end documents and how the website eventually looked like. Here we have our end result, a better title that shows the activities. We added here our highlights, there's a front price and a duration, and we made this introduction much more aligned with what our persona wants. And we looked at sustainability, there are authentic experiences, and we also improved that actually same kind of things in our day-to-day itinerary page, but we also made sure that the text is aligned with our tone of voice. So in this video, you learned how to make an itinerary page based on a strategic direction that we made in video 2. In video 4, you can learn how to make a blog.